Welcome to another very special bonus episode of the KBB Review podcast, all about the KBB Review Retail and Design Awards 2024. Yes, the entries are closed and the first stage of judging is complete, and that means the reveal of the shortlist for 2024 is imminent. In fact, this episode you're listening to now is coming out on Monday, December the 11th, as a little precursor, an appetizer, if you will, for the big show on Thursday, that's December the 14th. That episode will be the first unveiling of the full rundown of finalists for the 2024 awards. That list won't be available anywhere else until the following week. So if you want to know you're on it, or you just want to know who the big names are, then look out in the podcast feed. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. Just search for KBB Review, all one word. Or you'll just be able to listen through kbbreview.com if you go along there on Thursday morning. But that's not all. Not only is Thursday's episode the big shortlist reveal, it's also the last show of 2023, and it's episode 200 of the KBB Review podcast. It's almost as if I've planned it this way. Today, though, our amuse-bouche of awards tastiness is a really interesting chat with one of last year's winners, Jamie Harding from the New Kitchen Retailer of the Year at Lorem in Reading, and one of our bathroom business judges, Sophia Charalambous from Origins Living. There really is some great stuff in here about what it's like being a judge, as well as what it's like being judged. So my esteemed KBB Review colleague, George Dean, will be chatting to them in a moment. First, now, as I'm sure you probably know by now, our 2024 awards podcast partner is Sunus Bathrooms. They're a hugely successful supplier of top quality bathrooms from Ireland. They launched in the UK last year. You can find out more about them, their extensive ranges, and how to become a Sunus Bathroom retailer by going to sunusbathrooms.co.uk. That's SONAS bathrooms.co.uk. And that link is in the episode description. Now I'll officially leave you in the capable audio hands of George Dean. Over to you, George.
So let's meet our experts. First up, we have Jamie Harding from Lorem, which was the winner of our New Kitchen Retailer of the Year award this year. Hello, Jamie.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Not too bad. Nice to hear from you. And also joining us today is Sophia Charalambous from Origins Living, who was one of our bathroom judges for the 2023 awards. How are you doing, Sophia?
I'm good, thank you. Living the dream.
Good to hear. That's always a good start. So, Jamie, obviously, the dream for anyone entering into the KBB Review Awards is to be the one who has their name announced on stage as the winner of their category. What did your win mean to you, and how did it feel seeing your name up there in lights on the evening?
Complete elation, to be quite honest with you. I mean, it's really great to get the industry recognition, and especially so early on in our journey. We're inside the business, we're all feeling that we're have been doing a great job. So yeah, to get that industry recognition on the night, it just made all the hard work and everything that we put into the business up to that point worthwhile. Very proud moment.
Yeah, definitely. And Sophia, many people might feel like they've got what it takes to be an awards judge, but it actually is a lot trickier than it appears. How difficult do you find the judging process, and what would you say are the biggest challenges?
It is very difficult being a judge because you have to be impartial. And when you're reading entries from very small businesses to large corporations. So you've got to be able to cut through the fluff and the corporate speak. And when there's a question, you've got to be able to wade through and see what really is the answer, because some entrants answer it with really fancy words. It really is hard. And I was thinking about that at the weekend while I was busy judging, thinking, this is really hard. And unless you've been in business for a long time and you can see through smoke and mirrors, it's not easy.
No, it's tricky, isn't it? Because it's as much on the strength of the entry as it is on your ability to write a really good entry, I think.
Exactly. And writing a good entry is not about using fancy words. It's just about writing what you do and what is the journey.
So, Jamie, were you expecting to win in your category on the day?
I wouldn't say expecting, no. I mean, certainly very, very hopeful. Like I said before, I mean, we were all kind of super proud of what we'd achieved within the business up until that point, but really you don't know what the judges are looking for. So although we thought we were doing a great job, we don't know if the judge was going to kind of agree with all the feelings and the thoughts that we had. So, definitely hopeful, but certainly not expecting.
Sophia, looking at it from a judge's perspective, what are some of the key things you look for when you're judging an entry?
The key things that I'm looking for when I'm judging, again, it's the journey and answering the question, because some of the entries do not answer the question and they either skim through it or they write far too much. I want to know what goes behind running the showroom. I want to know why you've chosen the brands you work with. I want to know why you chose to lay out your showroom in the way you did. I want to know what makes you different from the rest, but not ChatGPT. I actually want to know what goes behind the scenes, as if you are walking me through your showroom and you are talking to me and saying, we chose this brand because of XYZ. We've laid out the showroom this way because the area that we're in, we have, for example, it's a very affluent area. There's lots of Victorian houses. So we've chosen the brands and the styling because this is what our target market wants. And for me, it's not about the biggest showroom or the biggest amount of displays or the amount of money you've spent. It's about the investment that you've made for where you are at.
Yeah, it's tricky, isn't it? Because like you've just said, it's not always the biggest showroom or, you have the most suppliers or the biggest market. It's sort of what you do with what you have.
Yes.
Yeah, and I guess sometimes it's tricky to get that across in the actual awards entry, I think some people find. I mean, some of the entries that I've seen this year, it's tricky because you know that these are businesses that are clearly very successful, but it doesn't give a great representation of the whole business.
It doesn't give a great representation of the business. And I don't know whether I can say this, I'm not going to disclose anything, but one thing that is missing from many entries is the frontage of the business. In the photography, when they're putting in all their imagery, not many of them put the frontage of the business. If someone is walking past and looking at the frontage, that's their first time seeing the showroom physically. And a lot of the time I don't see that. And they really should include it because its first impressions do make a difference.
Absolutely, 100%. So, Jamie, coming back to you, as an award winner, you clearly know a thing or two about how to compose an award-winning entry. So what are some of your tips for crafting a memorable and strong one?
The biggest thing I'd probably say there is just to be completely authentic and genuine and explain everything in your own words. I'd also say don't put something on paper just because you think that a judge wants to hear it. I think what's great about the KBB Review Awards is that you get to meet the judges as well, which is quite different from a lot of the other awards. So if you put something down that isn't true and isn't genuine, the judge, I think, will very quickly see through that when you're together in the showroom or wherever you're going to meet, running through everything in detail.
Yeah, and I think, like you've just touched upon, some of the strongest entries that I've seen are the ones that have a bit of a human element to them. And it's not just, we have done this, we have done that. It's, we've loved this because of this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all, and it's your journey and your words. So, I think that is really, really important.
So other things that are important, Sophia, how important would you say is the site visit for shortlisted entries? And has your opinion ever been swayed massively after seeing an entry in person compared to just the online entry?
So just as Jamie said, it's very important for the judge to meet the finalists. And I haven't been too swayed. However, when I do go and meet the finalists, quite a few times I'm down to 2 and I'm thinking, it's so close. Which one? Because they're both good in their own ways, and some score higher in some areas where others in different areas. But when I go and visit them at their showrooms, then I know immediately which showroom should win. It's very, very obvious to me. And also sometimes the written entry may not be as good, but once you've gone to the showroom, you think, wow, why didn't you write this in your entry? You missed a trick there. But for me, visiting the sites is absolutely amazing. And there's also that added element, that intuition, the sixth sense that I use, because it's not just what you write on the entry. I actually go and I feel the vibe.
Oh, so it's a bit more intuitive.
The written entry is not intuitive, but once you get to the showroom, yes, There's an element of intuition. You thinking, especially when two entries are so close and you have to choose one, then it comes down to my intuition at the end, because it is subjective. Although I'm very impartial, you can sense something that is not obvious. And I'm not that I want to let out secrets, but I also look at elements. How do the people, how do the team in the showroom, how do they interact with each other? What is the vibe that I get when I'm walking around this showroom? Do I want to be in this showroom? Because you could write the best entry and it's all perfect when it's written down. But when you go and you look behind the scenes, you think, written entry is really good, but I'm not sure whether I actually feel the love.
So, Jamie, following your big win earlier on this year, what did that change for you guys over at Lorem? And do you find it's changed your business outlook in any major ways?
I think we've always been pretty strong on the vision and the direction that we're going in as a business. But getting that award, I mean, it just gave us such a spring in our step so early on in the journey. The journey of really sort of establishing ourselves, and it's certainly given us the drive to to go to the next level. I suppose it's the credibility as well, being able to use that on our marketing channels and socials and things like that, but also credibility internally. We've built an amazing team here. And let's be honest, people want to work for a successful company. So, having that, it just, put that in everyone's minds as well moving forward. So it was really great for us.
Yeah. And like you said, it's really affirming, I feel, as a business to get that award. Do you find that the customers you have coming in are interested about that as well?
It's not the be all and end all, but certainly it's that credibility. Being able to say that we're an award-winning business so early on in the journey, I think is a really big thing for us and for our clients.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. And then, Sophia, as an awards judge, do you feel like you've learned anything major from your time as a judge? And has it opened your eyes to anything you might not have realised previously?
Yes. Apart from I absolutely love being a judge, and it's my 5th year running, I've learned so much about the behind the scenes and also the passion that these retailers put into their businesses. And I feel humbled that I'm allowed to see into it. It's actually beautiful. I love doing it every year.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's good to hear as well. Yeah, I think it's interesting because on the night, it's such a huge spectacle, but it's much more work than just that one evening, isn't it? It's months and months and months of lead up to that.
It's all the entries that I have to read through, and I love reading them.
Great. Well, thank you so much to you both, and I hope to see you at the awards next year as well.
Looking forward to it.
And thank you so much for your time today.
No, thank you very much.
Thank you.